is an old school garage. It's 40 years out of date, and that's why I'm busy. Well, you know, it wasn't actually cars when I was a youngster, it was trucks. My father was a transport manager for a local company at the time. I just grew up with the truck thing. I used to go out on breakdowns with him. On the weekends I would go to the garage and work on the cars with him. And in my school holidays I would go out with the truck drivers. It was just an amazing childhood. So it wasn't really cars at all in the early days. Because his history was mechanic, he didn't really want me to go into the industry. And he was dead set on me having an apprenticeship at the Davy Brown gearbox factory in Huddersfield. And on the Saturday morning, I was supposed to go and get measured for my overalls for Monday morning. And I didn't go. I went to the local Lancia garage and got a job. Back in the 70s, one particular Lancia was a Fulvia HF, which was a pretty well-known rally car and a performance car. That's when it started. That's when I got the bug. I suppose, like everyone, I needed to venture out and see what. And I got a job with Mercedes-Benz, a bleak Ferrari, and I became the Ferrari mechanic, not the Mercedes mechanic. And the training wasn't in this country, the training was at the factory. And spent many weeks in Italy. I could tell you stories about the Fiorano test track, and I could tell you stories about the Cavallino, the restaurant, where you'd be just sat having lunch and Nicky Lauda would walk in, or Berger at the time in the 80s, and it was just normal. Well, Italian Autosport started as a tool, really, because I was working for Ferrari and I was working for local main dealerships. I was a square peg in a round hole. As time marched on, it was quite clear to me I was in the wrong business. I loved the product, but I didn't love the main dealership way of things. And this bugged me, and I spoke to my wife at the time about it, and I think it was pretty obvious where this was going. And massively brave thing, but you know, I think you need to start your own business. I took a brave pill. I spent hours and hours doodling on the carpet in the evening, what's this thing going to be called? And I came up with Italian Autosport, and you know, we saved and I did it, and then the rest is a blur. I am a Ferrari F40 specialist. The car is a very special product. It's a prototype and very much an undeveloped car. You'll never see another F40. There is no traction control. There are no computers to keep you safe. There is 13-inch of rubber on the back. It's quite a quick car before turbochargers come on, but then people get the confidence of it being a quick car. And a classic is maybe pulling out to overtake and forgetting that the turbochargers are going to come on in a moment, and the 13-inch rubber hits the white line and spins, and you go back through it. This is quite a common thing. A lot of cars have been crashed. We can criticise the car, but we just love them to bits. Very special car. My racing career, it's a strange way of putting it, if I don't see it as a racing career. Back in 1995, I was looking after a client with a Ferrari 328, and he ran the car in the British Ferrari Championship. And he was explaining to me this fantastic circuit in S.p.A, the Belgium F1 circuit. John, you should race that car there. You should take my car and race it. You really should. I think it took about 5 seconds really to make a decision. So we cobbled up a team, we bought a trailer, we went to S.p.A. And on the Saturday, I won the race. I was incredibly happy about it. And he thought the best thing to do now was for me to stick hold of the car and win that year's championship. Well, I won the championship. So that was it. That was no career. That was, thank you very much, here's your car. So a chap with an F40, Mr. Chris Woodhead, decided that it would be great to put some history on his F40. So why don't we try and win the top class back to back? And in actual fact, the F40, I did it in, he sat over there. And we did win that championship. So it wasn't really a career, it was just one season after the next season, would you race the car? But I do have to pinch myself every now and again when I look at my trophy cabinet, just to make sure that really did happen, and it did. Time's marched on. The team, it's in their blood as well as mine, and we miss it badly. And so we bought an Alfa Romeo 75 IMSA car. Pretty well sorted car, but completely a mystery car. It's an inline engine with rear-wheel drive. And the transaxle and the gearbox is over the rear wheel, so it's sort of 50-50 weight distribution, and that hopefully is going to be an advantage. The intention is that we're going as a team, as we did in the old days, to go and win some races. We've all got older, but those are only numbers. I am a 40-year Ferrari man. People that know me as Ferrari, they know me as Ferrari John. But people that really know me for being a petrolhead. The American appeal to me is, I've got a Corvette. It's over 500 brake horsepower, and it reminds me of the Ferraris of yesteryear when they did have faults and they did have character. What I'm finding with the Corvette is it's not a perfect car, but it's a very powerful car. It tests your ability not to kill yourself in it. I like that. I don't like computers telling me what to do. And of course I've got the 600 horse Cobra as well, which is an amazing piece of kit. It's not for everyone, but 600 brake horsepower it's just an awesome thing. I enjoy it thoroughly. There's no finesse in it. One of the first things I did when I bought it was to take the heater out of it, take the power steering off it, and I'll love it to bits. I'm never going to make £1 million out of this. I'm a Ferrari mechanic, started my own business. The guys are Ferrari mechanics. They work with me, not for me. And together we ride the cash flow problems or the whatever problems that we have in a business. But it's a challenge. I've got a business where someone said to me, you must keep abreast of the new cars, and I shouldn't. I don't have to do that, because these cars will live forever. They just need somebody like me to keep rebuilding them. So we've got a job for life. All we've got to do is we've just got to keep producing the skills for the future. Breathe it in, man, breathe it in.